So, welcome back, everybody, to Dicing with Death. Ryan, I think you had something you wanted to share with us before we actually get into game.
Oh, yeah, I should have hyped it up for maybe like, if you stick around after this commercial break, I'll show you some cool, badass Christmas presents. I don't know, these are so big, I don't even know if I can get them in frame.
What? Who got you swords?
Aaron did.
Dude.
I'm gonna shut the blinds so none of them can see, and then see if I can get them in frame. There. Can't have my neighbors think I'm a lunatic. Do we even? Can't even. So big you can't even see. So this one's like a hand and a halfer.
What'd you hit? It sounded like you hit the ceiling.
That was the sheath dropping. Oh. No, I can't even hoist that one without. And then there's a scimitar.
A scimitar?
I think so. Is that what you'd
see?
They're a little they're pretty monstrous. I wonder if they seem. I don't know if it was like Crusades reenacting was my first thought. Almost a great scimitar. This is a
That's fantastic.
Sword. So
I'm super jealous.
Well, you probably wouldn't want to fly with these anyways.
Oh, I mean, no, but to have when I get home. Shit, I think you have more swords than I do now.
3?
Yeah.
The one you gave me is still in Santa Barbara. Oh, sparring sword.
Yeah. Well. Cool. Good Christmas for you.
So don't break into my house.
Yeah. Maybe Aaron can teach Lauren some things about Christmas gifts.
She totally lucked onto these.
Just like how?
She surprised me with them pretty well. She found someone in one of her neighbors or whatever. She's just had kids, and so they were like, "Free swords, gotta baby-proof the house," or something like that. Or maybe they were just like, "I'm old and my LARPing days are behind me."
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Cool. Well, back into game. You wake up the next morning, get yourself some food, and memorize Detect Magic, was it?
Yes, and we're going to go have another look at the archway. I think I owe another night in the inn.
Sure.
For 2, and then plus food.
So it's another 6 silver for with food. That's going to come up to 8 silver.
Okay. I get my change and roll out. We pick up Reptar. I guess I send Reptar to pick up his armor.
Cool. He picks it up and
I asked him if. Okay. I figured he would go do that while I go look at the mine. I guess the mine is about 2 miles out of town, so I'll go with him.
Okay.
Pick up his cool new leather jacket. Does it have a helmet with it? I guess it doesn't need one.
No.
Because unless you have AC6, the called shut head doesn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Although there are some crits.
So you head to the mines. You come back to where you were before. There's some dwarves around. You notice that the
really fucking thick sword.
That's pretty fucking tall.
Anyway, yeah. Someone was overcompensating for something.
Oh. The cart that was being worked on yesterday is now repaired and just sitting off to the side. There's a couple of dwarves sitting about munching on some food. They see you come by, and one of them says, "You figure it out yet?"
I have a few more measurements to make, and I rush by, and
they provide you with a light source.
Okay. I give them a curt nod and trudge into the mines.
You return to the same place that you left from last time. It is the stone archway.
Whoa, the music got spooky real quick. um, so,
So, where are you? What are you doing? How are you doing it? All that fun stuff.
I am. Okay, so I'm back to the archway.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I stand in front of it, speak some arcane words, get my somatic components on, and cast a detect magic. It's a
Okay.
10-foot path by 60 feet long.
As the detect magic spell goes off, a magic mouth appears at the top of the archway, and it speaks in common. Unseal the Shadow Realm. And as it does so, the doorway starts to rise with billowing shadows, rippling with flickering cracks of violet energy.
I take it I detect magic.
Yes, you detect quite a bit of magic.
So, I guess maybe roll for surprise if you'd like, but I have a 10% chance per level, so 20% chance to recognize if a certain type of magic is present.
Ooh. You do
I
detect a certain
also
type of
get.
magic present, maybe, if there is any.
I guess I don't get.
Is it like strong, weak, dim, faint, blah, blah, blah?
Intensity can be determined, and that's always. I can always. So no roll. The intensity can be determined. Dim, faint, moderate, strong, overwhelming.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 5. And I think I can discern individual objects or whatever.
It is alteration magic.
The archway is.
Yes.
Or as the mouth is. Is the mouth, are you treating the mouth as part of it, or is that like a separate magical entity?
It is a separate entity, but you cannot detect what type of magic it is. The mouth is moderately intense. The archway is strong.
And are there only the two things? There's nothing coming out of it yet?
Well, the archway and the billowing shadows with the ripples of violet energy streaking through it are one and the same.
Well. So I'm like in the doorway of the doorway. I'm like in the leading up to the cavern. What is it like? I'm like 7 feet away from this billowing shadows. I'm backing up.
Okay.
And seeing, I mean, so is this like a round taking place? Like this is my first round of the detect magic spell.
Yep, and you are probably a little surprised by this.
Yeah. So I'm going to back up 60 feet. I mean, I guess does the torch go 60 or does the torch go 20?
You can't see beyond 20 feet with the torch.
Okay. But I can feel the magic auras from 60 feet with my detect magic
yes,
spell.
But only for one more round.
2 rounds per level, so 4 rounds.
For 3 more rounds.
Okay. So I think I hang back at that 60 feet and like sense with my detect magic and like use that as my sight.
Reptar backs up with you, spear drawn, shield in front of him.
So I guess we're waiting at the end, at that where the other path jets off towards the door room.
Okay, so you're way, way back beyond the.
Yeah, I think you said 40 feet.
Yeah,
it was. So 40 feet back. So I can still detect with my magic as long as I like line it up so there's no stone blocking.
Right.
As long as it's a straight shot. And so I'll hang there and wait for the demons to come hurling out of the fifth plane of hell and destroy me and these dwarves and the whole town. That'd be a shitty email to have to write to your Hardcore Heroes cast. Be like, sorry guys, Ryan summoned a demon and
destroy the entire town.
got burned to ashes.
Oh.
No more show.
I still haven't figured out how your two timelines match up. You could be well before them, well after them. You could be simultaneous. I haven't made that
Depends on
decision
how
yet.
quickly I summon this demon.
Yeah. You wait for a minute. 1 minute turns into 2 and bleeds into a third, and nothing happens.
Can I recall what the mouth said to me? But I
Give
can
me an
still so
intelligence
that,
check.
yeah. I mean, because I was like casting a spell at the same time. I wasn't totally
Well, it didn't say anything until after the spell was over.
27.
Yes, it said unseal the shadow realm.
Yeah. What the balls? So I still detect the mouth. I still detect the magic
Yes.
doorway.
And you can detect the large aura in the center of it, of the...
Oh, that is separate, so it's a third.
No, I mean, the doorway and the thing in the middle are all one big, like, archway, center, doorway.
Portal to another dimension.
To something. To maybe the shadow realm?
Is it a trap? Reptar, go in and find out.
I'm not going in, you go in!
I think after waiting there for a few minutes with nothing happen, I look side to side, and if there's no dwarves, I'm gonna slink back towards the doorway.
The dwarves are off in other parts of the mine, oblivious to whatever you may be doing here.
I approach the archway. What do we think, chat? Is it a trap?
As before, you can see the archway writhing with billowing shadows, rippling with flickering cracks of violet energy.
Okay. I approach the archway. Maybe I've still got. Maybe this is the last round of detect magic. Maybe it's just expiring. But I want to target the magical construct, not the archway, with a spell.
The magical construct?
Yes.
What are you
I don't know if I can target. I'm going to cast an enlarge spell. I would like to target like the portal, not the archway, if that's feasible. But if I can only like latch on and target the archway, I'll buy it.
I think enlarge, does it work on anything? Or does it only work on living things?
Creature or object. The spell causes instant growth of a creature or object, increasing both size and weight.
And is it a touch spell?
A single creature or a range 5 yards per level. So I'm up to 30 feet away.
Sure. You cast enlarge on the portal itself.
On the portal. I want to see what happens if I try and target like a magical entity with this enlarge spell. It enlarges by 20%.
Okay.
Do I summon the Shadow Realm?
You do not notice any changes.
It doesn't grow. Like my spell is ineffective.
You do not sense any changes.
Has my detect magic worn off at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm approaching and bringing my light. Did it grow bigger? The duration is 10 minutes. And I sprinkled powdered iron at it.
You notice no... You sense no changes.
Mouth, are you there? Is there still a magic mouth like imprinted on the top of the doorway?
Nope. It is gone.
No. Is there still a shadowy mass writhing inside the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's... I poke the butt of my staff through.
Okay. It pokes through?
Does it like disappear? Can I see where the staff
As
goes?
it goes through the shadows and kind of flickering energy before you, it just disappears into the darkness. The shadows block anything from the other side.
Can I see it behind?
And you walk to the edge and
So,
Poke it
like push
through.
it through and then look around.
No, it does not come out the other end.
What if I go in backwards from the other side of the doorway?
Same thing.
Okay. And then I pull the staff out and it fully retracts.
Mm-hmm.
I step through
Okay.
wholeheartedly, staff in hand, torch in the other.
You step through.
Roll with save versus death.
You are fine. Through the portal lies a room atop a tower in the plane of shadow. A dimly lit realm leached of all color. There's a podium against the back wall, flanked by two small arched windows. On the podium rests a clear, princess-cut gemstone set by its corners in a hollow disc of gold, punctured with three smaller, round-cut gemstones attached to a fine gold chain. Above the podium, carved in the stone wall, reads a message. We hide away what we cannot destroy. Drexel the Bloodthirsty's weapon, the amulet of Malchus.
What the fuck? Georg's jaw drops, and I guess I look around and try to find myself in this room. Like, do I have a corporeal body?
You do,
Like,
but
I look down and see my feet beneath me.
There's no color to anything, but yes, you
The
are
torch in
here.
my hand. It all feels and like I feel very much like this is reality, but there's no color.
Yeah, in your torch, you can see the flames flickering, but it doesn't shed any light. Everything is just dim everywhere, and your torch doesn't really provide any extra light, but you can still feel its warmth against your skin.
I take a step towards the amulet.
You stand before it.
Is this podium in the center of the shadow room?
It's at the back wall.
Back wall.
Yes, and on either side of it are these little small arched windows, which you can look out and notice that you are well above the ground.
Is there a door behind me?
There is only the portal.
Is it?
The portal is an archway standing in this circular room.
What was that bit about Drexel? That was how did I know? Was it imprinted in my head or was it?
No, it's all carved in the stone.
Oh, carved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Above the podium. It says, "We hide away what we cannot destroy. Drexel the Bloodthirsty's weapon, the amulet of Malchus."
Holy fuck. This is some heavy shit, Neil. Georg does have a religion proficiency.
You know that Malchus is the god of chaos.
Yeah. Big Daddy Malchus. Malchus don't give a fuck. He's the kind of god that would make you say versus death or die for picking up his weapon.
You look at the amulet before you. It is, as I said before, a princess cut, that means square cut, gemstone set by its corners in a disc of gold, punctured by three smaller, round cut, clear gemstones. And all of this is attached to a fine gold chain.
I think I start rooting around my bag and dig out a piece of parchment and my ink and my quill, and I set about to trying to sketch this amulet. Does my paper and pen work as it would in the?
Yes, but it's really hard to see what you're writing.
The torch. I guess I'd probably set the torch down at this point. I'm probably sitting on the ground of this room, unless there's a desk or something, and I go about making the sketch. If
There's
I
no
can.
desk.
Maybe I'm just making it blind, and it's going to be a scribbled mess when I get back. the plane of shadow is not, it like borders the prime material plane. Is that what's?
Yes.
Is there any lore on that? Would I know that? I am a dimensionalist after all.
You
Or am
are a
I figuring
dimensionalist.
this
You
out
would
as I go
know a
along?
great many things about the plane of shadow. By the way, here's what the amulet looks like. That the 4 gemstones, the big one in the center and the 3 around on the rim, are all clear, and then that rim is made of gold. The proportions of this are a little bit off. The center gemstone's not quite so large in relation.
And they're all clear.
All
Well,
clear.
everything's gray. What am I kidding? I'm in the demi-plane of shadow. So it's a demi-plane, right? It's not a full-fledged plane. It like borders the ethereal.
You're a
and the prime
dimensionalist. This
material.
is the plane of shadow. It is a full-fledged plane of its own.
Okay. Huh. It's probably pretty trippy.
Yeah.
Probably a dream come true for Georg.
Yes.
I just sort of stumbled into it. Amulet of Malchus? What is this shit?
What do you do?
I think I draw it and then I GTFO and try and go to figure out more about this thing. And we'll see if I have a chance to come back or if this was a one-time offer.
Okay, you step back through the portal, and you are back in the other room. Not Georg, you're Georg. What's his name? Reptar goes, it went dark as soon as you went through. What's on the other side?
Shadow. Eons and eons of shadow.
The portal does not close,
No.
he says.
I thought you said it went dark behind me.
Well, that's what he said. But
he didn't say the portal does not close. You're saying the portal doesn't close.
I'm telling you the portal doesn't close, yeah. No, he tells you the portal doesn't close behind you.
Okay. What about it going dark?
The torch left the room.
Yeah, okay. No one can come in here. Oh. Rubbing my head, I start trudging back up the passageway.
He follows you and says, "You want me to watch it? Make sure no one comes in?"
Yes, that's perfect. I hand him like 2 days worth of. I just hand him like a pile of food.
Light. I need light. He says.
How long do candles last?
A couple hours.
Okay, so I think I set him up with 10 candles and.
Hold on one
food
sec. Hold on. Hold on. The stream is dying on me again. Just wait for it to come back. All right. Wait. Okay. It should be back now. You said you were setting him up with food?
Yeah, I give him 10 candles and some food, and tell him. I mean, no one can go in there, except for me.
Okay.
Stand here. I'll be back to check on you in a little bit. I have to. I just like trailing off. I leave.
Okay. You leave, and before you know it,
I probably break into a run as soon as I'm like out of Reptar's sight.
Okay.
And just jog, then probably get tired. I've got a bit of a belly, and only 7 con. So.
Well, very soon you find yourself on the surface and on your way back to town. Short while later, you roll into town.
Consult Rohana the Diviner.
Okay. You make your way to Rohana the Diviner, the 28-year-old human female. She runs the magic shop in town, and she is built and ripped. Yeah. But she's also very sick. She's always coughing and hacking, but she's got muscles like you've never seen before.
Ooh, can you imagine if I enlarged those muscles? What a woman we could
Mm-hmm.
make her for 5 rounds per level.
She
She
sees you
could.
come in and goes, "Ah, you look as if you've seen a ghost, Mr. Georg."
Not a ghost, a shadow.
Tell me,
I'd. What? I think I just sort of stand there, sort of in stunned silence for a second as I compose my thoughts. Are we alone in
yes,
the storefront? Is it a simple storefront? Are there shelves? Is it like a?
it is a complicated storefront. There are many things and lying around. Like
But it's
you
like
would
one. It's
recognize them as
one room,
spell
a concealable
components.
room.
Yeah.
It's okay. So it's not like there could be someone hiding behind a shelf or something that I didn't notice.
Someone
Besides me.
could be like squatting down behind a thingy in theory,
No,
but they'd have to be
no.
like,
But there's no other.
yeah.
I think I asked in the list. Are we alone?
I see no one else. What?
Have. What do you know of this mountain or hill west of town that the dwarves
Rich
are
with
mining?
copper ore, they say. The dwarves bring in much copper from there.
Did anyone use it before the dwarves? Does she seem at all taken aback that I've just like burst in here looking white as a sheet and start asking questions? Like now I'm starting to process the social situation.
I mean, she
Realize.
did call you out right away.
Yeah.
But she hasn't
So, does
said
she answer?
anything.
She just. Okay. So did anyone use that mountain before the dwarves?
I would suppose so. The dwarves aren't the first to have been
You
here.
are
I believe
you
they
are
were.
the diviner after all. I say, leaning in close. Have you felt anything coming from the mountain?
No, 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 no. It's really more of like some hills than an actual mountain. No, I've.
I think the color returns to my face as I lean back, feeling a little more secure, maybe less secure. I don't know, but I think for outside purpose or for all appearances' sake, I start to relax. Is there a place to have a seat? Is this like a comfortable thing, or is it? I feel like I should be shopping and leaving.
This is more of a shopping and leaving sort of thing.
Okay.
But there is a
Can I go
back
lean in?
door that leads presumably to her quarters or to her personal study or something. She says, Georg, why don't you take your time and tell me what you've seen? Perhaps I can help you.
I wasn't pulling your chain when I said I'd seen a shadow, my own shadow.
We all have shadows.
Yes, but I gazed into the plane of shadow to see my own, and a shadow of another thing, a darker thing.
The plane of
And
shadow?
could I roll like a charisma check to gauge NPCs, or do I just have to read them from your portrayal?
You can roll a charisma check if you want to try and gauge some.
Like trust her, or like because
The
wizards in
trust
this
you're going to have
world
to
don't
choose
wear
on your own. But you can
wizards.
gauge
She's
any.
not wearing robes of this particular color to tell me her alignment. Is she?
No, they do not follow the colored order in Arcadia.
Okay, so I think it's a 27 on a charisma check.
She definitely
I'm
seems
trying to like gauge
curious.
here, but can I guess I'm trying to ask if I trust her, which maybe I
is-
can't ask that to you.
No, that's got to be up. That's on you. She seems curious and concerned.
So I slide my sketch of the amulet across to her. And actually, maybe I'm looking at it for the first time. Does it look at all like that sketch in Roll20, or have I like did my scribblings in the plane of shadow?
No, it's probably just
not
exactly
translate.
like that. You know, my sketching's pretty shitty.
Okay.
So, you know.
And it's probably did I write Amulet of Malchus across the top?
No.
Correct.
I mean, you could have. That's up to you.
Okay.
She looks at this
I
and goes,
probably jotted down Drexel. I probably jotted down Drexel, like on the corner, like when I was asking, "What's this Drexel bit about?" And you told me it was written down.
she looks at it and goes, an amulet of sorts? Is this related to the plane of shadow?
It was in my vision. Aren't
Did you have a dream? A magical vision? Did you
I think Gail's
inhale
getting a little
something?
frustrated that she doesn't feel the gravity of the situation. But yeah, no, I saw it with my eyes. Well, a projection of my eyes. You know about planes, don't you?
Of course, of course. I'm aware of all the planes. Ethereal, abyss, fire, water, air, earth, shadow.
And shadow.
Yes.
Do we exist on only like one planet? Like,
You
are we?
exist on the prime materia plane. Now that said, other planes like the plane of shadow and the ethereal plane, they kind of overlap the prime materia plane in a weird sort of way. So wherever that was on the plane of shadow is possibly relating to a location somewhere in the world. Like that might be relating to a location on the prime materia plane. The shadow plane's a little bit
Yeah.
tricky.
Well, you don't seem to be concerned. I sort of scratch my head. And
Well, I
look
don't
like
understand what's happened to you. What is this name here?
I look
Drexel.
intently into her eyes. It's his amulet. It was in the inscription.
Drexel. Drexel. That name. It rings a bell, but I cannot place it. Perhaps you should ask Mildred.
Is she an expert on destroyers of world?
She is the sage in town. Is Drexel the destroyer of worlds?
Something along those lines. I stand up, scratching my head, and
You know,
start
perhaps
to
I will
walk
close up shop
confusedly
and come
towards the
with
door.
you, she says.
I look to her, still not completely trusting her.
She
And I guess
pauses,
but I don't know where the sage is, so I'm in.
grabs her keys, and then follows you out the door. Or pushes you out the door and
I think
locks it
she
behind
leads
her.
me out the door to the sage because
Yeah.
I don't know who the sage is.
She walks you to the sage's shop and says, Where did you find this amulet of Drexel?
I shrug. In the plane of shadow, I told you, so I do not know
How did you get to the
where,
plane of shadow?
whence its projection on this plane is. It was a room. The plane of shadow? I
did not-
walked through a door.
Forgive me, I did not realize I was in the company of such a mighty arcanist.
I lean in close and I said, "To tell you the truth, neither did I." And I give her a wink. I'm looking way up at her, aren't I? She's what, like 6'7"?
I don't know. What's her height? She's 6'8", 250 pounds. Yeah.
Lordy.
So she like towers over you.
Okay.
Pretty soon, you guys make your way to Mildred.
I think I've got a guess at who the super character of your NPCs was. I feel like you were excited about some stats you rolled for an NPC a while ago, and you wouldn't reveal them, but it's beginning to become a little obvious.
Fine.
To me, I've got a theory.
I will not
Our
say.
18 strength wizard, girl power. So Ronnie
so
leads the way to the sage.
Yes. So you make your way to the sage, and Rohana knocks on the door. You guys enter, and you're kind of in the front door leads just into a very general sitting parlor. There's a few one bookshelf on the back wall, some windows on the other wall, some nice soft sitting cushions and couches, and Mildred
Some shrink's office.
kind of. It looks very much like a shrink's office actually, but without the desk. It's lots of like sitting and like little side tables around. And Mildred sits down and says, "So, Rohana, what have you come to see me about? And I don't think I've met your acquaintance before. I'm Mildred, the sage." She says. She looks to be in mid-30s, human, female.
I am Georg, the dimensionalist. I look to Rohana and say, Rohana tells me you know some things. I've had a vision, and I'm new to such divinations.
Well, tell me about your divination. I will quote you a fee once I know what it is that you're looking for, and I will do my best to provide you with the information as soon as I can.
I sort of narrow my eyes suspiciously at this woman. Does the name Drexel mean anything to you?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Well, I would like to know who he was, and I look to Rohana, like out of the side of my eye, and more about his weapon. Are these pieces of information for sale?
They are. 5 gold, please.
I rummage through one of my pouches, pull out 5 gold coins.
Okay. She counts
A little
them out,
confused by this transaction, but
puts them
I
aside,
didn't know this was. Yeah.
and goes into a separate room, comes back a few minutes later with a large tome, dusts it off, opens it up, skims through a little bit, and goes, just as I thought. Drexel
I'm like reading upside down across the table.
Drexel was a sorcerer from another dimension. He served Malchus during the War of Creation, helping to annihilate the winter gods. When the war was over, by now he was a lich. We're not quite sure where that process happened. He settled here in our prime materia plane until he was brought down by the servants of Astaire and his phylactery destroyed. He's been dead for millennia, but he was one of the more well-known, more powerful servants of Malchus. One of his only companions, mortal companions, during the War of Creation. As to his weapon, he was a sorcerer. His weapon was his magic, and his phylactery when he became a lich, but that was destroyed.
Then perhaps my vision was only a shadow of reality, perhaps displaced in time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I came to you in such a panic, Rana.
Tell me what you've seen.
The sage asks this, or
Yeah, the sage asked this. Perhaps I can help you some more.
no, I'm good. Let's see.
They both nod. It's very standard, knowledge is power. If you're not wanting to share your knowledge, that's super legit. They're not going to push you on that. They understand,
But I just paid her 5 gold for that information. She can be paying me 5 gold for my information.
You could.
No, I think I politely excuse myself and leave unless they have further questions of me.
No,
Maybe I'll walk
they
around
both
the
stay
back
behind
there.
as you exit.
Oh, they stayed. Okay. Right, so then I'll excuse myself and go running back to the dwarven mine.
All right.
Froze.
Another hour or so later, you find yourself back in the mines. You make your way down through the twisting caves, following the railroad tracks. Your first torch is already out, so you've grabbed another torch by now. Do you have any torches on your character, or are you
I have,
taking torches
I
from the
have
dwarves?
one last torch that I will need to delete right now.
Okay.
And my candles I gave to.
Right. Okay. You come across Reptar. He's standing guard a little bit further in. He's not actually standing guard at the. He's standing guard like halfway through that 40-foot tunnel, that straight, narrow tunnel. As you approach, he goes, Master, have you... Master, have you found what we look for?
What do you look for?
Answers. What is this? What did you... You left in such a hurry. I was worried.
I nod. This is a doorway to another dimension. One made of shadow. You do not want to go there, Reptar. Promise me you didn't look. I paused and looked.
I stood guard. I know go through crazy shimmering portal. Is there a way to close?
That's what I'm working on. I walk past him. Like I said, I moved to walk towards the door.
Okay. He holds his guard position.
Yeah.
You get back to the door.
And I step back through the door into the plane of shadows. Same
Once
room.
more, you are in the plane of shadows. You find yourself in the same room as last time, with the pedestal, the windows, everything in this dim, color desaturated world.
That this is a shadow of somewhere else displaced in time. I do not fear that this is. I suspect that this isn't, in fact, the actual amulet of Drexel, phylactery of his soul, whatever.
What do you do?
Destroyer of worlds. I take the butt of my quarterstaff and attempt to pluck the amulet from the pedestal. So attempt to needle it through the chain.
It takes a little bit of finagling, but very quickly you find yourself with the amulet resting on the butt of your quarterstaff. The words written on the wall before you echoing in your mind: we hide away what we cannot destroy. Drexel the Bloodthirsty's weapon, the amulet of Malchus.
So if I can't balance it on my staff, I'll start backing out the portal.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's a lightweight amulet. You just
staff. And as I back through the portal, pull the staff out last. Does anything come with it on the end of?
Yes, the amulet follows through with you. And now that you're in the light of the real world, you can see that, in fact, it is a gold amulet with a gold chain.
Yes. And the gemstones are clear?
The gemstones are clear. They could be quartz, they could be diamond. You're not sure. You're not a gemstonologist.
Can I write down what the warning said?
Yes.
Or I'll peek back through if I need to remember.
Sure, I will just send it to you in Skype, and then you can do as you please.
Okay. The portal's still open behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I set this amulet on the ground and sit next to it. And then you know what? It doesn't activate until you put it on. So I reach out to pick it up and put it in my pocket.
Okay, as soon as your fingers touch it, you gain 1 point of intelligence.
No. Oh God, what have I gotten myself into?
What do you do? Because I figure at this point, you touch it,
Oh,
you
man,
realize you gain a point of intelligence. What do you do with it immediately now that you have it in your
I
hands?
immediately go for the player's handbook to look up what that extra point of intelligence gets. That's unlimited spells per level. You wouldn't do that unless you were right about to murder me. I don't think. I think my first reaction is to like go through the whole, holy fuck, what's going on. Like I don't think I would physically react, drop it right away. I think that's gonna be my second reaction once I think through with my superhuman intelligence what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you feel your intelligence increasing by 1? Am I just like suddenly aware
Well,
of?
think about it, like if you get kind of drunk, you can feel your intelligence drop by 1. It's the exact opposite, you know?
Okay.
You now have it in your hand, and you're kind of stopped, paused, amulet in hand.
And I think I shove it into my pocket.
As it leaves your hand, your intelligence drops by 1.
And I go scrambling to my feet and like stepping back and holy shit, what's going on? Oh man. Fucking artifacts and shit. This is, yeah. Okay. So I leave the area. I back away from the portal. Is it still open?
It is still open.
Okay. So what are we going to call this? Amulet of Malchus? Drexel's amulet?
Well, it was titled the Amulet of Malchus.
Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't have his holy symbol on it, though, or anything, did it?
No, it doesn't.
Does he have a holy symbol? That I would
He
be aware
does.
of? Is it documented, or is that...
It is undocumented. Maybe it's documented, I don't remember.
Okay. And I go stumbling, dumbfounded, out towards Reptar.
Okay.
White as a sheet, probably even more spooked than when I saw Rohana.
Well, you get to him, and he says, "What, Master? What is it?"
I have neutralized the threat, but the doorway remains open. Scratching my head and chin and grinning, I go sprinting back to the doorway. I'll be right back, Reptar. And I jump back through the portal to the plane of shadow.
Okay.
Deposit my parchment with the drawing of the amulet of Malchus on it, and then go sprinting back out through the portal.
You just like put your paper down there instead.
Yeah.
So anyone that comes back, just like, oh, paper drawing of amulet. All right.
Okay. And then I collect Reptar. And I'm probably grinning now, despite being a little bit terrified.
Master, portal is still open.
Yeah, I'll tell the dwarves they can do what they want with it. And but the danger to this world is neutralized. Oh boy, am I wrong. And I go back up the...
Okay. I guess you tell the dwarves that you meet at the surface.
Is there a Hefe dwarf that I would be able to find? Or
A Hefe dwarf?
El Hefe, the man in charge?
You find a group of dwarves near the top that are having lunch. In fact, it's probably all the dwarves are outside right now having lunch. So you run into the whole pack of dwarves. They look at you expectantly, almost, waiting for their updates.
Okay. I've got some good news and some bad news, boys. Which do you want to hear first?
Bad news.
Bad news. You got a portal to the plane of shadow in your basement over there.
What?
Good news. Good news is the threat is neutralized, but the portal stands, and I'm deconstructing magical objects like this is not a simple task.
Can you close
Not
it?
my honest suggestion: seal it in, maybe, or just don't go down that hallway. Put a closed sign down that wing.
Board it up? Seal it up? Oh, God. You didn't tell anyone, did you?
No. Bad for business.
All right, well, we'll seal it up good. No one will ever be able to get back through there again.
I'm cringing a little bit. Maybe put in a secret entrance for me in case I regret my decisions. I imagine by then I'll be able to teleport, right? Or I'll be dead.
So you leave them to seal it up, or
I
this is
think I want to.
a big decision for you, Ryan. They will seal up that wall. They will build a fucking wall there made out of stone.
Maybe I say, hold on. Maybe I'll be able. Maybe if I learn more and I come back, I will be able to destroy this arcane abomination once and for all.
It sounds like a portal for the plane of shadow is a dangerous thing to have on hand. I don't think
it's a dangerous thing to have on Earth, I say.
Yeah.
So when I figure out how to get rid of it.
Well, if you can't close it, maybe we can break it. I got some nice pickaxes.
Oh no! Are you kidding? You take a pickaxe to a magical portal?
It's just made of stone.
You just said yourself it's dangerous.
You said it was dangerous.
Really understand it.
Look, it's made out of soapstone. Gotta be easy to break. We almost broke it instead of coming to you.
No. In Sayor's name, do not break the portal. Just put a temporary door. Look, I know you dwarves won't go through it, right?
I'll give you 4 days. If you can't find a way to solve it in 4 days, we'll break it to bits.
Wait, no, what I'm going to seal it in?
Why seal it in when you can destroy it? You said you opened a portal?
Hey, you brought me to the portal.
You opened it.
No. You opened it. Digging down there.
How'd you open it anyway?
I told you opened it. By digging your way down there. They buried it in rock for a reason.
Didn't want anyone to find it. They should have buried it in better rock. And not near such good copper mines. Stupid people. Who buried it?
Look, really, I think ancient wizards? Who knows? Look, I think you're safer just not messing with it. Just putting some boards up and going on with your mining. I told you I took a look. I neutralized the threat. But the portal's the portal.
Plane of shadows. Shit sounds ridiculous. How do we know there's not some sort of demon coming through there right now? A demon that can dig through stone. Maybe it's an Umber Hulk. Do those live in Plane of Shadow?
No. I took a look and there were no Umber Hulks. You're safe.
Good. Could be a Zorn.
I assure you there's nothing coming out of the portal. let's just put up a caution sign.
You don't really look
and
all that convinced of yourself. You, slave boy, what do you think?
Slave boy doesn't speak Dwarven.
He changes it to, says it in common, to which
Okay.
Reptar goes, I didn't understand a word any of you said. And the dwarf
Tell them they
replies,
should.
the dwarf replies in
Tell
common,
them,
uh, what do you think we should do about that portal? Wizard boy here thinks we should leave it alone, board it up. I say we break it with a hammer or a pickaxe. What do you think? He
I'm a little surprised they asked Reptar for an opinion. What does Reptar say? This is his moment to shine.
is a scary portal, brimming with energy. I think if portal cannot be closed, break portal. Destroy forever.
Reptar, it's not that simple. You can't just hit magic with a hammer and expect it to break. Sometimes it sparks or explodes. Have you ever seen a fireball? I say, looking to the dwarf.
They grow silent. Explode, huh? You would better find a way to close this thing. Before. We may have found it, but you opened it. This one's on you, wizard boy. Maybe we should go talk to the other wizards. This is too big of a task for you.
Look, I'm the dimensionalist here. If I can't, none of them can.
I don't know. The Baroness keeps, what's his name, Aldrich? Aldrich the Conjurer? He ought to know something. She keeps him around for a reason. Maybe we should just go talk to him. And on that, why don't we take our second break while Ryan stresses? We'll see you guys all on the other side. Bye-bye.